Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another episode of our Path to Virtual Success. Today we have Ali joining us from our team, and we're going to talk about the secrets of virtual booth engagement. Ali, you want to say a few words?
Yeah. Hi, Amanda. Thank you for having me on. I'm really excited to be talking about this topic because it's been one that's been, becoming more and more frequent with the velocity of virtual events are coming out at.
Great. Yeah. So as many of you guys know, we're an event production agency. We do a lot of live, and during COVID, a lot of virtual, and Ali's on the production team. So that's why we invited her today, because we had a conversation internally about building out these virtual booths, right? How they're different. So Ali's going to share actually a lot of insights with us. So why don't we go ahead and jump right in? Awesome. Secrets to virtual booth success. So the first one, we'll start with design. Ali, this is beautiful, and I know you had a hand in this, you work on this. Why don't you share with the audience about what it is that we need to look for in terms of building your virtual booth experience?
Yeah, so definitely, of course, you want to make a great first impression, and you do that with the design of your booth. We see so many different virtual event platforms offering different layouts and kind of setups that you can use to create your virtual booth. So we want to help share what makes those stand out so you can, gain more attention and traction from the crowd. So we begin with branding. We want the customer to know who you are and what you're selling right away. So make sure you put your logo on there, make sure it's visible and clear so they know who you are at first sight. And then of course you want to keep it creative and fun. You're not going to stand out if you look like the rest of the booth. Company colors, we did in Virtual Booth 1, Innovate Marketing Group, our core color is orange. We want to be bold and bright and fresh. So if you can change and customize the color of your booth, that will help you stand out as well. And then, of course, have fun images that will make sure that separate yourself. So if we're looking at the examples on the side, Virtual Booth 1, which is one that we created for a virtual event, you can see it pops and it stands out. It's exciting. You want to, kind of get to know more about it. Where you look at Virtual Booth 2, it's kind of more gray and subdued, and it's a lot of text. You kind of can just glance by it, but not know who it is or what they're talking about. So you want to make sure that you get a great first impression, because there will be, up to 50s or hundreds amount of virtual booths. So you want to make sure when people are scrolling through the list that yours is one that they get their attention.
That's great insight. Just like in live events, like a live booth, you want to make sure your booth stands out. So those are some great tips. I actually asked Ali and the team, I was like, did you guys add those plants? Because I love it. It really pops. And you're totally right. You have to make it stand out, right? So, yeah, I mean, if it was me, I definitely will go to Virtual Booth 1. I probably won't stay at Virtual Booth 2 for too long, or I might not even stop by. Versus 1, it really engages us, and hopefully people want to learn more, right? Awesome. What information and content should, all these sponsors include in their virtual booth? I think that's a question we're getting from a lot of our corporate clients as well, because they're participating in a lot of virtual events.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. That's a great question. So the content that you want to have in your booth is, stuff that will kind of is a story about your company. You keep up to date with what you're offering with your current services or campaigns. So you want to make sure it's all fresh and new, right? And then you're also providing resources and videos, such as if your company has, a little sizzle reel video or about your company culture, how you got started. You don't want them to be too long because you want to keep the audience engaged. So have them from 1 minute to 2 minutes long. And then you also want to make sure that you provide information that is current to what your company is targeting, for that event. Make sure you know the target audience, and that you are marketing to them, because if it's resources that aren't relevant to them, then they're redundant at that point. So you want to make sure that you know who you're targeting, and making sure that what you're showing, like the different capability statements or ads that you've put together, or any event decks that I know we've done a ton for our virtual services, make sure that those are all present there, because that's what the audience will be looking for. And of course, you want to provide any social media links. The most common way to get in touch with people nowadays is through social media. It's funny, I was actually trying to reach out to a potential partner of ours to, help out with an event with providing samples or product. And the way I got a hold of them was actually through their Instagram.
That's interesting.
Get a hold of them. So it's like you want to make sure that those social media links are updated, and also it helps kind of add to your story of your company and create like a whole 360 picture of your company, right? So we want to make sure that's included. And then of course, contact information. That's always important. You want to know how they can get in touch with you right away. So provide the easiest form of contact, whether it's email and phone number. You can even provide a personal email as well. Because the whole point of you doing your virtual booth is to gain more traction and more exposure. So you want to make sure that it's easily accessible for them.
Ali, I love what you said about the resources and links and, videos, because it's true. Like, especially if your company have like white paper, share that. So engage the audience by providing value and information, right? Not just pitching them all the time. We call it not hard sales, right? But rather providing value and making sure that comes through. Great. All these virtual booths are great, but how do we engage the audience? Because they're all virtual, so not like in life. I could see someone walking by and say, "Hey, Ali, come to our booth," right? Or like, "Hello, pretty lady, come to our booth." How do we increase attendee engagement and interact with these people that are virtually coming to our booth?
Yeah, so this is a great component of having the virtual booth, is that you can use a lot of different forms of engagement that everyone can participate in. So this is really where you can stand out with your virtual booth, is the different opportunities that you have for an engagement. So for example, one of them is a giveaway or a raffle opportunity, right? This is a way that you can get contact information by them filling out a form in order to be in the raffle, so you can reach out to them later on. And then they usually tend to, go to your booth if they hear that there's like a raffle or a giveaway item. Everybody loves free stuff. Everyone loves winning. So why not utilize that and take advantage of that opportunity it could be something as simple as, like, I think Amanda, you're saying like a ring light. Like those are so in demand right now, right? On a Zoom call or, doing a webinar and they want good lighting. So like you could do anything from that to like earphones. Make sure like the item is relevant, so people will actually want to, fill out the form and sign up. But as I said, it's in our human nature. We love to win free things. So people will come. And so that's a great opportunity you can use. It's super easy. It doesn't cost you anything. Or you could provide like a virtual voucher as well if you don't want to ship anything. There's so many endless opportunities there. And then you can also do a social media contest. What's another way people are reaching out is through social media. So if you want to like get your numbers up, be like, oh, if you follow us on social media, you have a chance to win XYZ. Like that's a great opportunity. We have done this in person many times in order to get people to engage with us at our booths, at live events, and even with our clients. We did a whole campaign around social media. And it was a great success. So it's like you can transition that to the virtual world. It's actually much easier because everyone's already on their computers and phones and laptops anyway. So you can draw people in that way, get them engaged, also get their contact information via their social media. So it's another way to kind of build your network and get those possible potential partnerships and clients from there. And another one that we've been seeing, not as often, but it's kind of becoming a trend, is having like a quick open Q&A session. Kind of like you can just host a quick session with anybody who wants to attend, just set a time and they can sign up for it. And then at the time they can go to your Q&A and, you know, get to know more about your company. If they have any questions about your services, it's a quick, easy way to provide answers. Also understand what your audience is looking for, right? Instead of having to wait to like send an email or respond and everything like that, it eliminates all that time in between, and you just host an open Q&A session. It's a really helpful tool, and it is like instant engagement. So we thought that is very beneficial to have at your virtual booth. And the last one, of course, as you always should have, is chat availability. And with a lot of these virtual event platforms, you can enter in shifts, kind of like when you will be available, and the audience can see that right away. But we do recommend you have somebody on standby at all times while your booth is open, right? Because you never know who's going to be coming in and out. Like, yeah, you might have set times for your virtual exhibit hall, but you always want to make sure there's someone on standby in order to, you know, you don't want to miss that opportunity that you might have.
Yeah. And I think having and indicating that open Q&A session and chat availability window, I think that's crucial, right?
Oh,
versus just we're here all day long, because you're not literally there all day long. Maybe, you know, you're also visiting other exhibitor booths. So having that sessions, you know, so for some of our client, we'll recommend indicating this time block, right? Because a lot of times these corporate sponsors are also speaking on panels. So being mindful on that, about that, or unless it was a separate staff that's managing the virtual booth, right?
Definitely. Yeah, you should have a representative available at all times. That is definitely key.
Yeah. And I love that we can still do giveaways and raffle. You're right. I love a good giveaway and raffle. So I'm glad we can still do it virtually. Looking forward to see more. We've been seeing a lot like gift cards,
Yeah.
as well as, you know, books. People are giving books away if that's something that people are interested in. And I also seen one before, they were giving away Legos. So I was thinking, wow, those are great. I could bring them home for my sons, you know?
Exactly. That's a great idea. It's like the giveaway doesn't have to be for your audience, but it could be like their children, or if it's family oriented, or it could be a tool that they use in the future. It doesn't have to be immediate, but we all have a weakness for free items.
Yeah. Great. Ali, do you have any other additional reminders or tips for the audience about building their virtual booth?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So some keys to success that I've discovered while, you know, working on virtual booths and with clients of ours to kind of build out their virtual events is for each exhibit booth, in the saying, like, think outside the box, well, think outside the booth. This will help you kind of, what will make you stand out, be creative with it, and in order to make a great and long-lasting impression, you kind of need to go beyond your standard virtual booth. Even ones that the ones you see at exhibit halls in person and trade shows before, you know, we turned to virtual, there was like VR components and like big old like set designs. Like they were like going for 150% in order to, you know, gain that crowd attention and that traction, because it becomes an event itself if they have all the right components in place. So you want to think outside your booth. You also want to inform, but you don't want to overwhelm. So when providing the content and the links and resources, don't add every ad campaign your company has ever done or every video that's on your YouTube channel. You want to limit it so that it's not so overwhelming. Like, you want to walk into the booth and be like, your key 3 to 5 at most, you know, resources and videos, because you want them to get a feel for your company, but they don't have to know everything, right? So it's like when you walk into a store and there's just so much product everywhere, you kind of just get like a little discouraged because you're like, this is a little overwhelming. So you just you want people to stay and engage and go through all of those links and resources, and they'll do that if it's not too many, right? And that also comes hand in hand with specifying and promoting your marketing focuses. So you want to, before you set up your virtual booth, know your target audience, what event you're there for, and that will help you kind of curate which content you want to provide, what resources you want to show, because it'll help specify which specific ones. So for us, for example, we are marketing our virtual resources. So that's what I'm going to focus on for these virtual booths, right? We're not going to promote as much live stuff because of the current pandemic and what's going on. So you're going to want to specify and promote what's relevant to your company and your audience and what you want to focus on. What are your main priorities when it comes to, setting, like providing what information is relevant. And then of course you want to market post-event and follow up with all communication. So whether they chatted with you for 2 minutes or 2 hours, you're going to want to follow up with both because they expressed interest in some way. And you never know what might come out of those relationships and that communication. So you also want to promote like what future events we might have going on. So it's like, what's our next webinar? We'll in the event, but also in your follow-up communication with those people, because you're kind of already providing them resources. They don't have to ask. You're just like, oh, if you'd like to learn more, we are hosting a webinar next week at this time. Like, it's very easy, simple, and then you want to make sure that, you engage with them and keep that engagement going. So those are some tidbits for virtual booth success.
Those are great points, Ali. Thank you. I want to just add one more. So keep in mind when you're a sponsor, for these virtual booths, make sure you ask the organizer about getting the data, because a lot of times you also have access to the data to see who visited your booth, who engaged with your booth, how many people watch a video. So you can actually kind of see, and how long people even stay at your booth. Right. And then we love data because we could really analyze, this video everybody loved because they watched the entire thing, versus another video, they didn't love it. Right. Maybe they only watched half and then they fell off. White paper, how many people downloaded the white paper? Right. And then kind of like what Ali was sharing about the post-event marketing and follow-up. Now, all those people who downloaded your white paper, they're interested in the topic. Right. So not a few months back when we actually put together our own white paper and pivot to virtual material as well. And so many people downloaded that material because it was in high demand. Everybody wants to know how to do a virtual booth and, tap into our insights and tips and success. So that was like really helpful to share. Great. Let's now tune in to the audience. More resources. Yes. So we love QR codes. For those of you that are joining us, please feel free to scan this, and then you will see where it leads you. This is one of our virtual activations. QR codes are not new, but then if you scan this, it actually takes you to our website. For those of you that are already scanning or done scanning, great. Yeah, feel free to check us out and all the virtual services we have to offer. Now I would like to turn to the audience to see if they have any questions that we could help address. So let's see. All right, first question. What booth? Oh, the booth looks amazing. Oh my gosh, great job. Kudos to the team. How much time does it take to put the booth together? And how would you measure the success of a virtual booth, Ali?
Okay, so that's a great question. How much time it takes to put a virtual booth together? Honestly, most of the time takes when you're curating all the content and information you want to share. So if you have all that information already ready, creating the booth itself doesn't take that long. So I would say around like an hour, 2 hours at most. It depends just how much detail you want to provide. But it's so simple. These platforms have made it so easy and provided like almost step-by-step videos of how to do it and what and tips on how to do it as well. But it does vary, each platform does. But in our experience, it's been a very easy process. And
so I would, oh, go ahead. No,
I was just going to say.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ali.
Sorry. Just being organized with what information you want to provide is key and essential.
And I think for those of you, companies that are out there, you probably exhibit more than one, at more than one virtual event experience. So save that information, compile that. Like internally, we use Dropbox, right? So we compile it into one area. So that's very easy. Next time we also exhibit at another booth, we already have all the material. So Ali doesn't have to ask our marketing person, say, hey, can you send me whatever we're promoting now? We may tweak a few things here and there, but for the most part, it's pretty similar, right? And I would say for the companies that are out there, again, don't be afraid, because I feel like sometimes we send these out as we're managing these virtual events and people just don't do it, right? And you're just like, I think it's just unknown, so they might think it takes a long time. But now you guys all heard it from Ali. It takes anywhere between 1 to 2 hours. So don't be scared. Just open that email and start working on it. All right, let's see. Do we have any other questions from the audience? Oh, Arlene, what to ask for when considering exhibiting in a virtual booth, focusing on, KPI and ROI, which we love. So, Ali, take it away.
So you want to ask for, of course, Amanda mentioned earlier, data, having that, seeing how many people, attended your booth and how long they were there and what was clicked on, and seeing what kind of work. So you want to make sure that you get all that data and metrics back, because it'll kind of show you a report of what worked and what didn't. So making sure that the booth has all those resources in order for you to, be able to insert those videos and links and everything, and then also connecting out to social media, because that's an automatic teller. You could keep track of how many numbers you had before the event and then look back at what you had after. It's a great comparison. And with all of this information being online, it's really easy to access all that data and those metrics that will be helpful tools for you, in the future when doing more events and marketing and research for these virtual booths.
Okay, great. Let's see if we have any other questions. Okay, I think that's it. Great. Well, Ali, is so great talking to you. Thank you for, carving out some time. Ali and the production team is actually working on numerous virtual events right now. But we wanted to invite her to share with us and share with you, actually, not us, share with you about some of these virtual booth engagement, because we feel like it's important and because this is new to a lot of you guys. So again, don't be scared. It's pretty easy. Make it, engaging and beautiful so that people come to your virtual booth. Yeah. Any other thing you want to share, Ali, before we sign off?
Only thing I'd want to share is the team here at IMG has been doing amazing work, and we love to share these kind of secrets and ways of success. So just want to shout out Miss Amanda Ma for her amazing.
Great. Yeah. We love our clients. We work with a lot of great brands like TikTok, East West Bank, Honda, and we're always looking for more fabulous clients, right? And looking to apply all these tips and knowledge for their upcoming events. So if you have any questions, feel free to tap in the team. Make sure you check out the other episode too, because this is actually a series. We have several additions before this on, virtual activation, to pivot to virtual. So make sure you check those out. But thank you all for joining us today. Thank you again, Ali. We tune in for next time. Have a great day.